Chris Mannix via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network. I mean, Chris, combust. I kind of look at LeBron as combust proof. Is that his whole life since 16, he's been the most discussed, poked, prodded athlete of all time. I think he's used to all the Rondo, Lance Stevenson, Luke's going to get fired. Couldn't I argue that if there's anybody that's kind of combust proof, that's lived in a world of chaos, I could argue since he was 8, that LeBron's pretty durable when the world's blowing up around him.
He definitely is, Colin, but that doesn't change the fact that this team is built on volatile players, volatile personalities, contracts that prevent any kind of equity from really being claimed within that team, guys playing for contracts, a coach that's not only now playing for a GM and a president that didn't hire him, but also a player who's got his own ideas on what the coach can do. I mean, you're right. LeBron James, especially since he went back to Cleveland, has dealt with some form of controversy almost every single year. But I'm perplexed at the people that look at this Lakers situation and are kind of buying the narrative that seems to be coming out of LA, that, these guys are going to be good for LeBron. I mean, Pat Riley, one of the best general managers in basketball, built a team around LeBron with smaller players and shooters. Cleveland did the same thing, and he went to 8 straight finals. You're telling me that now you're going to put ball-dominant Rajon Rondo, ball-dominant Lance Stevenson, play LeBron in the post, incorporate a player that plays incredibly slow. LeBron James in Cleveland played incredibly slow last year to a team in LA that last season played incredibly fast, and everybody thinks this is going to be great. I just can't buy into that one, Colin.
Well, it's a bunch of one-year contracts. I don't think the roster will look the same next year. I think Kuzma will be around. I think Ingram or Lonzo will be around. I kind of look at what Magic's doing, Chris, is he knows Klay Thompson's dad's a Laker broadcaster. He knows what's on the market. I mean, if you look at what Magic's done, got rid of the Mozgov deal, signed KCP, got rid of Clarkson's bad contract. Now it's a bunch of one-year guys. I look at this Laker team as like step 1.5. I don't think Rondo's here in a year. I don't think Lance is here in a year. I don't think JaVale McGee's here in a year. And I don't think either Ingram or Kuzma are here. Could I say this? We think this is a final product. It's probably about 60% there. Is that fair?
Oh, I might even say even lower, Colin. I mean, one thing, remember when LeBron came out with that letter in SI in 2014, we had a pretty clear idea of what Cavaliers players that he wanted to play with, right? He mentioned, some of the younger guys. He didn't mention Andrew Wiggins, and he was gone. He didn't mention Anthony Bennett, and he was gone. We don't know yet which of these Laker young players that LeBron really sees as keepers. So I think it could be less than 60%. I'm with you that up until this point, Magic Johnson, and maybe even to a greater degree, Rob Pelinka, who's running the day-to-day there, they've done an excellent job at kind of breaking down this team, ridding it of the bad contracts. I thought getting a first-round pick in that Jordan Clarkson deal was an excellent one as well. So they've done a good job, but that's the easy part. I mean, that's the easiest part of a rebuilding team. Scott Perry in New York is doing the exact same thing right now. Doing that is the easy stuff. Let's see what happens when he's got to recruit a Klay Thompson or flesh out a roster that works around side LeBron.
I think there are 2 teams that can win the title next year. I predict the Celtics beat the Warriors, who face some real fatigue over time. That would be an upset, but I think there's only 2 teams that can win it. I do not believe Houston, losing Trevor Ariza and Luke on the wings, are the same defense. Chris Paul is getting older. I think they're going to overpay for Clint Capella, who gets marginalized against really good teams that can shoot. I think, and this happens in sports a lot, Chris, we don't see the Patriots very much. What we see is the 49ers with Harbaugh. Really good and disappear. I do not think the Rockets are the same team next year. I think the Celtics are title team. I think the Warriors are. And I think LeBron's closer than people think. Do you buy the Rockets? I don't. I don't think you can lose forward defenders and then beat your Kevin Durant's, beat your Jason Tatum's. I think the Rockets are done. I think they'll be good. I think their title window's closed. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think their window, at least for this coming season, it's not there. What defined this team, and you kind of nailed it there, what defined this team was the fact that they were a top 10 defense. Mike D'Antoni says a lot when people talk to him about his defense. He says, look, if we're a top 15 defense, we can be a contender. If we're a top 10 defense, we can win a championship. Last season, they were a top 10 defense.
Yep.
And a big part of that, Trevor Ariza, Luke Mbah-a-Moute, those guys were great on the perimeter. They were versatile. They allowed them to switch a lot. They were a modern defense last year.
Yep.
You lose those two guys, and for the sake of argument, let's just say they plug in Carmelo Anthony. You're an entirely different type of team. Maybe you're a little bit more offensively explosive, but you probably go from 7th or 8th defensively to somewhere in the high teens defensively. And you have to throw in, Colin, the unbelievable irony that Mike D'Antoni and Carmelo Anthony could be reunited. I mean, Carmelo Anthony wasn't just like a reason that Mike D'Antoni quit. He was arguably the biggest reason that Mike D'Antoni quit New York 7-8 years ago. So the fact that those two guys could get back together is really remarkable to me.
Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley says, doesn't deserve credit. I say, you can say what you want, Chris, but if you keep winning awards as a sports writer for a decade, I can't say it's luck, and I can't say you're fortunate. I'd have to say that Chris Mannix guy is a good writer. Magic got rid of Mozgov. He got rid of D'Angelo Russell's deal. He has done they aced the draft a couple of years ago. I do think LeBron preferred the Lakers, but it wasn't a done deal when he met with Magic. Am I wrong? I think Magic did help.
I think Magic helped. Do I think LeBron would have signed with the Sacramento Kings if Magic had been there? No. I mean, of course not. Look, we all know one of the biggest reasons why LeBron's in LA is to advance his post-playing interest. He's got his social media platform. He's got his movie studio. He wants to be in the acting game, I'm sure, to some degree still. LA presents him with so many opportunities. And Magic Johnson, as you were alluding to earlier, he has built as good a post-playing career empire as any athlete in modern sports, in today's modern sports age. So I think that's a huge part of it. But I don't think, look, if it was Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss, would LeBron have gone to L.A.? Maybe, but I'm not so sure. I think Magic certainly pushed this thing over the edge.
That's what I believe. I don't think Kupchak, and I like Mitch. He was a little wooden as a personality. I do think there's something to be said about Magic Johnson's. If you've ever been in a room with Magic, there is something there that is not common among. I love R.C. Buford. I like Daryl Morey. I like Mitch Kupchak. There's a lot of good GMs. But, Danny played the game. Magic played it at a ridiculous level. I think it matters. He's Chris Mannix.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Let me just throw this in real quick. I mean, Magic being Magic, sure, he can sell. But if Sam Presti was in L.A., I think LeBron would have gone. If Daryl Morey was in L.A., he would have gone. More than ever, and I had this conversation with some people with the Knicks yesterday when they were introducing Azonia here in Vegas. More than ever, players are looking for stability within that front office. They're looking for consistency. They're looking for elite-level front office executives that can help them build teams, especially so when guys are in their 30s and they're looking at the last chapters of their career.
Chris Mannix, good stuff from Vegas, buddy. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.